I used to think the library was the safest place in my school. It always smelled faintly of old paper and the heater that never really worked. That Thursday, in late November, I stayed in during lunch to finish an overdue essay. Ms. Vicky let me sit by the big corner window, the one that faced the parking lot and the quiet neighborhood behind it. It was drizzling, but the light had a yellow edge, like dusk was coming early. I heard a muffled pop, then 3 more, each closer together. I glanced up, but no one else reacted. I thought maybe it was a car backfiring on the wet road. 10 minutes later, the intercom crackled alive. A voice, tense, low, telling us to stay inside, to move away from the windows. Ms. Vicky stood up so fast, her chair toppled over. She locked the door, drew the blinds. She wouldn't look at us. Someone asked what was happening. She only shook her head. Through a gap in the blinds, I could see 2 security guards pinning a tarp over the glass doors by the side entrance. They kept glancing at the street like they expected something to crawl out of the rain. A kid sitting near the stacks whispered that his brother had texted. Someone was outside the gym, near the fence line. A man? He'd been standing there all morning, they said, watching the windows. Rumors spread like cold fingers. That he'd broken into a house nearby. That he'd carved something into the siding. Some threat, or maybe a prayer. Someone said he had a knife. Someone else swore he had a camera pointed straight at the cafeteria. My breath fogged the glass when I leaned too close. I thought I saw him then. Just for a second. A shape at the edge of the basketball court, motionless in the drizzle, not moving, watching. We sat on the floor until the bell that never rang. They herded us to the auditorium, 1 classroom at a time. No one spoke above a whisper. I kept thinking I'd see him again, just beyond the stage curtains, behind the emergency exit door. When they finally let us go, my mother's car was idling in the pickup lane. She didn't ask what happened. She didn't need to. I still dream about the window sometimes. The rain, the shape standing too still, and the feeling that it never really left.
I'd only been in the basement for 3 weeks. The newest computer intern in my old high school. It wasn't glamorous, but it felt like mine. A small office buried under concrete. 3 big desks. Humming servers. The hiss of cold air the rest of the school never felt. No windows. 1 stairway up. I got the job because 3 of my old computer teachers practically adopted me when I was a student. It felt safe down here. Until the phone rang. Front office. Flipped voice. Lockdown. No reason. No time to ask. I killed the lights. The office entrance was wide open. No door. Nothing to hide behind but the desks. The basement door upstairs didn't even lock. I sat still in the dark, my eyes adjusting to the faint glow of the server lights. No sound from above. I kept my phone in my lap, waiting for an all clear. Then, the basement door opened. Its hinges screamed into the silence. Footsteps came down the stairs. Too quick, too heavy to be careful. I slid from my chair and folded myself under the desk. The steps stopped at the threshold of the office. No lights, no sound. My phone buzzed. The vibration was deafening in my hands. The figure moved closer. Then a voice, low, too calm, said they were just hiding here too. In the server light, I saw the outline of a cap, the slope of a red shirt. They asked if there was another way out. I pointed toward the far corridor. I checked my phone. A message from upstairs. Don't move. Guy with a gun. Red shirt. Cap. He tilted his head, like he could see the words in my eyes. The servers hummed, drowning the air. I could smell the metal on his breath. Behind him, another set of footsteps on the stairs. Slow, deliberate. And then, a single gunshot. It rang through the basement, bouncing off the metal and concrete, finding its way into my bones. That sound has never left me, and I know it never will.
It was Thursday, 5th period. We were halfway through a dull documentary in world history when the lights flickered twice, then snapped off completely. At first, we thought it was just another outage. Our school has those. The building's old, the wiring older. But then, the intercom clicked on, and something in the room shifted. The voice on the speaker was hoarse. Not the principal, not the secretary, just a voice. Teachers, initiate lockdown protocol, immediately. This is not a drill. There was a beat of silence. Then Ms. Ramsey, the kind of teacher who wears handmade earrings and forgets to take attendance, bolted toward the door. She turned the lock, pulled the shades, and motioned us to the floor. She didn't say a word, not even when someone asked, "What's going on?" We all sat in the dark, the windows barely letting in enough light to see our own hands. There was no sound outside, not at first. Then came the footsteps. Not hurried, not heavy, just wrong, unrhythmic, dragging, like someone limping in sneakers too large for them. They echoed down the hallway, slow and deliberate. A boy near me whispered, "Maybe it's a teacher." But no teacher walks like that. Then the footsteps stopped. Right outside our door, we held our breath. Even Ms. Ramsey looked like she was about to cry. There was a scraping sound, like nails or metal, dragging across the door's window. A shape passed in front of it. Not a face, but something tall. The glass fogged, just slightly, like it had exhaled. Someone near the front let out a muffled sob. The doorknob twitched, twice, then silence. We waited, unmoving. Minutes passed. Then the intercom buzzed again. A different voice this time. The real principal. He sounded shaken. He said a trespasser had entered the west stairwell. Somebody barefoot, incoherent, refusing to speak. They lost track of him after he entered the second floor. The building was being swept, but nothing was found. Teachers were told to resume instruction, that it was over, but it wasn't. Later that night, a janitor reported finding room 209 unlocked. It was a storage room no one used anymore. Inside were faint footprints in the dust, and a single red mitten. No one ever claimed it. And here's the part that stuck with me. There is no room 209 on our floor. There never was. But sometimes, the door is still open.
Like, share.